Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Franklin from the Money Code Academy, and I'm glad you're watching. Now, on today's video, I want to share with you 5 mindsets that can keep you unemployed. Now, this is so important because there are lots and lots of people today who think that the reason they don't have a job is because there are no jobs. Many of them don't know that that is not true. Come on. The real truth here is that is not the whole truth. Your mindset goes a long way to play a huge role in you getting a job, which means the way you think determines if you will be employed or unemployed. So today, let's get right into it. Now, if today is your first time of being here, I want to encourage you to subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to click on the bell button so that the next time I post a new video, you'll be the first to receive it. Now, I've written down some thoughts here that I believe will go a very long way to help you. You see, one of the things that you've got to work on in your life is the way you think. The way you think goes a very long way to shape the outcome of your life. You get the point now. If you have the wrong mindset, trust me, you will receive or you will get the wrong outcome. It's as simple as that. And not just only in the area of your job, but in every other areas as well. If you have the wrong mindset about money, you will get the wrong outcome about money. That's how it goes. So I wrote down a few things that I know will go a long way to help you. I want to encourage you to stay true to the end of this video, because the things that I want to share with you, it will go a very long way to help you and position you to receive that dream job of yours. Now, the first thing that I wrote down here is when a man is thinking that the only way to get money is job. This is a very wrong thinking. It is an erroneous thinking, because getting a job is not the only way you can generate money. Now, I don't know how to stress this, but I see a lot of people out there who are stuck. They just believe that if they are going to get money, they must get a job. But that is not true. Getting a job is just one way out of about 100 and more ways in which you can generate money. Now, something I discovered, the reason why many people are stuck in this particular thought process is because they have not come to identify the problem that a job is going to solve. Now, let me explain this. What problems do you intend for that particular job to solve? One of them is for you to have a career, right? Another one is for you to be able to make money. I believe that is even the first and major thing. Now, if you're looking for a job is so that you can start making money, then if you don't get a job, why don't you look in the direction of other things and then use those things to generate money? You get the point now. So if the reason you want to get a job is so that you can make money, if you don't get a job, then do something else. It's as simple as that. You don't have to wait and wait and wait until you get a job. I see that a lot of time. That is an error. And as long as you keep thinking that the only way to get money is by getting a job, hear me, you may sit down in the house for a long time. Because we are living in such times where jobs are really, really scarce. The number of people who are looking for jobs are way, way more than the job openings around. So what are you going to do about this? Are you just going to sit down and you keep waiting for someone to employ you, or you move out there and begin to look for other ways in which you can generate money? Think about that. Now, the next point that I wrote down here, and this is so important, when you have this mindset that doing business is hard, a lot of times the reason many opt for that option of getting a job is because they feel that going into business is very hard, it's very difficult. I remember years ago, I know of someone who said, come on, I don't want to go through that route of doing business, because business is not my thing. I just want to get a job. It's easy for me. I get a job, I do my work, and at the end of the month, I'm paid. Now, that's quite true. But guess what? As long as you're going to keep walking in that path, you may be in the house for a long time. You may be unemployed for a long time. So stop looking for the easy way out. Sit down and begin to look out for businesses that you can do. Hear me. If you are not able to get a job, don't make it look as though you are useless, because you are not. You have lots of other opportunities in which you can make money, but you need to look in that direction. You know, some years ago, I read about a particular young man who graduated from college and he began to look for a job. He looked for a job again and again for over a space of 2 years or more, and he couldn't get a job. So one day, he was walking by the street and he saw some stray dogs. They were just everywhere. So something came to him and said, and he felt, what if I just make a little meal for these stray dogs and give to them? So he went into his mother's kitchen and then he prepared some meal for those stray dogs. And he went out to just go test it out. And guess what? Those dogs, they ate and it was wonderful. Immediately he got an idea and realized that this is something that I could start doing as a business. So what he did, he began to do a research. Remember, there was no company that was willing to employ him because he didn't have a job. But at this point now, he began to put his mind to work. And this is what I will always say, that when it comes to generating income, hard work is not the only thing. Mind work is very important. If you don't put your mind to work, you could end up in hard labor. And that is the plain truth. So he began to do the research, trying to get the various recipes for dog meal. And he did that, came up with about 3 recipes. He learned how to make them. And then he did that again and went out to give to those stray dogs. And it got to a point, they now knew who he was. So whenever they see him, they are happy because they are going to get a good meal. Now, he started learning how to brand. He started learning how to package this meal. And guess what? That particular thing became a thriving business. He became an employer of labor. He moved from the place where he was looking for a job to that place where he became an employer of labor. Now, that is an example of someone who changed his orientation, who changed his way of thinking. Until and unless you change the way of thinking and start looking in the area of business, hear me, you may just be unemployed for a long, long time. Remember, the person that you are looking towards or you are looking up to give you a job, that person had to go through some rigors to be able to establish that business that you now want to work with the person. If that person could do that, what about you? I believe that you can do the same. But you must be willing to look in that direction if you are going to make this happen. Now, this is so important because if you keep thinking that going through the business route is very difficult, it has so many risks, then you are not ready. I mean, it costs you nothing. If you are not getting a job, why sit down? Why don't you just experiment and do something else and see what works? You'll be shocked. You'll be shocked that you will become a CEO overnight. So think about that because it will go a long way to help you. Now, the third thing that I wrote down here, and this is very important also, is when you think that a job will solve your immediate financial problems. Now, I've seen this a lot of times where people will say that if I have to start a business now, it could take me a space of 6 months for me to be able to start generating income. Now, the thing is, that is quite true because it takes a little time for business to pick up. But at the same time, let us analyze this. Does getting a job solve your immediate financial problem? Yes, it does. But here is the secret. Here is the loophole. In as much as it may solve your immediate financial problem, it does not guarantee financial security. The reason is because you could lose that job at any time. That's number one. Number two, those problems that you think that the job will solve, that is getting money quickly, those problems that you think it will solve, it may not necessarily solve those problems. The reason is because a lot of times, salaries are not always enough. It could help you a great deal, but it will not solve your problem. So it doesn't provide, financial security. So stop thinking like this. Stop thinking that for your financial problems to be solved, you need to get a job. Because getting a job may not necessarily solve that financial problem. I'm telling you the truth. So instead of looking in that direction, why don't you look elsewhere? If you haven't gotten a job. It costs you nothing to look in other direction to see how you can generate income to solve your financial problems. It's as simple as that. So quit thinking that way and start thinking in the right direction. Now, the next point that I wrote down here is when you think financial education is a waste of time. Years ago, a young man told me that he really needed a new job. I told him, I said, look, you don't need a new job. What you need is financial knowledge. Because if you have no financial knowledge, you will keep needing a new job. And then he got very, very disappointed because the counsel that he came to me for was not what he got from me. So having said that, he just walked away. He was like, come on, what I need now is I need a new job, a job that can pay me some good money, not financial education. Now, this is the dispensation we are living in now. People no longer want the process. They just want the product. They just want money by all means. But the thing is, if you can understand the processes, the path you need to follow, money will always come to you. Those were the days when people say, don't give me a fish, I just want you to teach me how to fish. Those days are gone now. We are living in a world where people will tell you, keep your teaching to yourself, just give me the fish. All I need is the fish. And that's why there are lots of people out there who are doing all manner of things just to try to get money because they are not willing to learn the process. So as long as you are not willing to upgrade your financial knowledge, hear me, you could be unemployed for a very long time. So I want to encourage you to change your thinking in this direction. Never you think that financial education is a waste of time, because it is not a waste of time. You've got to get this straight. You get the point now? Now, the next point that I wrote down here is when you are thinking for you to get a job, it has to be through a connection. There are people who have lost all hope in being able to get a job by themselves. They just believe that if they are going to get a job, it has to be through someone that they know in one office or something. Now, that may be true in certain places, okay, but that is not the ultimate truth. You don't need to have a godfather somewhere. You don't need to have a connection somewhere for you to actually be employed. Quit thinking that way. What you actually need to be employed is knowing what you can offer, knowing your services, knowing your product. As long as you are good in what you do, hear me, what you do will announce you. It's as simple as that. So I want to encourage you to quit thinking that you need a connection for you to get a job. I know quite all right that in certain societies today, such, politics is going on. I am aware of that. And that's why you see today, you see someone who read engineering, he ends up in a bank. And it all boils down to the fact that there are no jobs anywhere. So they use connection just to fit in somewhere so that they can earn and be able to feed their family members. But while that is a possibility, I want you to know that you have a greater possibility, and that greater possibility is to know what you can offer. Know your product. Be very good at what you do. And if you are good at what you do, it will go a long way to help you to be established. Hear me, in the labor market today, people are not looking for just your certificate. Companies are looking for people with skills, people who are good in what they do. Because if you are not good in what you do, you could cost the company a lot of losses. So focus on you being good at what you do. If you don't have a job yet, spend that time to practice more or to invest in yourself so that you can get better at what you do. When you have a tangible value on the table, I'm telling you, companies, they will rush you. So Get that straight, because if you can make an adjustment with it, there are people today who just feel that, oh, because I don't have a connection, then I'm disadvantaged. Come on, you are not disadvantaged. You may not have anybody, but hear me, what you know will announce you in the long run. You just need to be patient and be able to position yourself in a way that you are able to achieve these things. That will go a long way to bless you. You get the point now? Now, the next thing that I wrote down here, which is a bonus for you, is thinking that upgrading your skills is a waste of time. I've said this again and again. If you truly want to get a job, hear me, be willing to upgrade your skills. Be willing to upgrade your skills and also learn new skills. Now, why is this important? We are living in such times where there are a lot of competitions. And in the midst of this competition, if you are going to stand out, you must learn a skill that will help you to stand out. There are a lot of things out there and a lot of job openings. For example, when we talk about, we'll take a look at digital marketing. If you go online now, there are a lot of job opportunities for digital marketers. They are looking for people who have this skill, people who are good with PPC, people who are good with SEO. There are lots of opportunities out there. But the question is, do you fit in? I know you might say, oh, but I'm not in this field. Come on, if you truly want to get a job, then there is nothing wrong if you venture into that field. So you can have a skill that will qualify you for the openings that are in the labor market today. So take advantage of what I've shared with you today, because if you will do that, it will go a long way to bless you. There are lots of other mindsets that's keeping you from being unemployed. And even as I've shared this with you, I believe that there are certain things that would have popped up in your mind, that lets you to know that it is time for you to drop such erroneous mindset. As long as you can straighten the way you think, I'm telling you, you will definitely get a job in the near future. My desire for you is that you will get a job as soon as possible. Now, if you have gotten value from this particular video, I would like you to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends and families, because they need to hear this. You may have friends who don't have a job right now. They need to hear this. Share it with them, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so, and be sure to click on the bell button so that the next time I post a new video, you will be the first to receive that video. Now, until I speak to you again, keep cracking the money code. It is your time for you to get a job.